Perhaps this is the why many of the most habit-forming products are those that provide continuous forms of novelty. Video games provide visual novelty, porn provides sexual novelty, junk food provides culinary volunty. Each of these experiences often offers continual element of surprise. In psychology, this is known as a variable reward. Slot machines are the most common real-world example. A gambler hits the jackpot every now and then, but not at any predictable interval. The pace of rewards varies. This variance leads to the greatest spikes of dopamine, enhance memory recall, and accelerate habit formation. Variable rewards won't create a cravings. That is, you can take a reward people are uninterested in, give it to them at a variable interval, and hope it will change their mind. But they are powerful way to amplify the cravings we already experience because they reduce boredom. The sweet spot of desire occurs at 50-50, split between success and failure. Half of the time you get what you want, half of the time you don't. You need just enough winning to experience satisfaction and just enough wanting to experience desire. This is one of the benefit of the following Goldilocks rule. If you are already interested in a habit, working on challenges of just manageable difficulty is a good way to keep things interesting. Of course, not all habits have a variable reward component, and you wouldn't want them to. If Google only deliver useful search results, some of the time I would switch to a competitor pretty quickly. If Uber only pick up half of my trips, I doubt I'll be using that service much longer. And if I floss my teeth each night and only sometimes end up with a clean mouth, I think I skip it. Variable reward or not, no habit will stay interesting forever. At some point, everyone faces the same challenge on the journey of self improvement. You have to fall in love with boredom. We all have goals that we would like to achieve and dreams that we would like to fulfill, but it doesn't matter what you are trying to become better at. If you only do the work when it's convenient or exciting, then you will never be consistent enough to achieve remarkable results. I can guarantee that if you manage to start a habit and keep sticking to it, there will be days when you feel like quitting. When you start a business, there will be days when you don't feel like showing up. When you are at the gym, there will be set that you don't feel like finishing. When it's time to write, there will be days that you don't feel like typing, but stepping up when it's annoying or painful or draining to do so. That's what makes the difference between a professional and a amateur. Professional sticks to the schedule. Amateur lets life get in the way. Professionals know what is important to them and work towards it with purpose. Amateur get pulled off course by the urgencies of life. David Cavan, an author and a meditation teacher, encouraged his students to avoid being fair weather meditators. Similarly, you don't want to be a fair weather athlete or a fair weather writer or a fair weather anything. When a habit is truly important to you, you have to be willing to stick to it in any mood. Professionals take actions even when the mood isn't right. They might not enjoy it, but they find a way to put the reps in. There have been a lot of sets that I haven't felt like finishing, but I never regretted doing the workout. There have been a lot of articles I haven't felt like writing, but I've never regretted publishing on a schedule. There have been a lot of days I felt like relaxing, but I've never regretted showing up and working on something that was important to me. The only way to become excellent is to be endlessly fascinated by doing the same thing over and over. You have to fall in love with boredom. Chapter summary. The The Goldilocks rule state that human experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of their current abilities. The greatest threat to success is not failure but boredom. As habit become routine, they become less interesting and less satisfying. We get bored. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. Its ability to keep going when work isn't exciting that makes the difference. Professionals stick to their schedule, amateurs let life get in the way. The downside of creating good habits. Habits create the foundation for mastery. In chess, it is the only after the basic movement of the pieces have become automatic that a player can focus on the next level of the game. Each chunk of information that is memorized opens up the mental space for more effortful thinking. This is true for any endeavor when you know the simple movements so well that you can perform them without thinking. You are free to pay attention to more advanced details. In this way, habits are the backbone of any pursuit of excellence. However, the benefits of habits come at a cost. At first, each repetition develops fluency, speed, and skill. But then, as a habit becomes automatic, you becomes less sensitive to feedback. You fall into mindless repetition. It becomes easier to let mistakes slide when you can do it good enough on autopilot. You stop thinking about how to do it better. The upside of habit is that we can do things without thinking. The downside of the habit is that you can get used to doing things. The downside of the habit is that you get used to doing things a certain way and stop paying attention to little errors. You assume you are getting better because you are gaining experience. In reality, you are merely reinforce your current habit, not improving them. In fact, some research has shown that once a skill has been mastered, there is usually a slight decline in the performance over time. Usually, this minor dip in performance is no cause for worry. You don't need a system to continuously improve how well you brush your teeth or tie your shoes or make your morning cup of tea. With habits like these, good enough is usually good enough. The less energy you spend on trivial choices, the more you can spend it on what really matters. However, when you want to maximize your potential and achieve elite levels of performance, you need a more nuanced approach. You can't repeat the same thing blindly and expect to become exceptional. Habits are the necessary but not sufficient for mastery. What you need is combination of automatic habits and deliberate practice. Habit plus deliberate practice equal to mastery. To become great, certain skills do need a to become automatic. Basketball players need to be able to dribble without thinking before they can move on to mastering layups with their non-dominant hand. Surgeons need to be repeat the first incision so many times that they could do it with their eyes closed so that they can focus on the hundreds of variables that arises during surgery. But after one habit has been mastered, you have to return to the effortful part of the work and begin building the next habit. Mastery is the process of narrowing your focus to a tiny element of success, repeating it until you have internalized the skills, and then using this new habit as a foundation to advance to the next frontier of your development. Old tasks become easier to the second time around, but it doesn't get easier overall because now you are pouring your energy into the next challenge. Each habit unlock the next level of performance is an endless cycle. Mastering one habit. Habit line, repetition, automaticity. Master line, skill, repetition. Figure 16, the process of mastery requires that you can progressively layer improvement on the top of one another, each habit building upon the last until a new level of performance has been reached and a higher range of skills has been internalized. Although habits are powerful, what you need is a way to remain conscious of your performance over time so you can continue to refine and improve. It is precisely at the moment when you begin to feel like you have the masters a skill, right when things are starting to feel automatic and you are becoming comfortable, that you must avoid slipping into the trap of compl- complacency. The solution: establish a system for reflection and review.